What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel, Jada Tunia here, and today we're going to be talking about SFC. Let me just introduce myself for a second. So my name is Jada and I am currently 19 years old and I'm a sophomore at SFSU. Now, right now is the pandemic, so unfortunately I am home, but I have noticed that a lot of people really want to know what's going on campus, what am I missing out on, and what's the tea about SF. So I'm gonna tell you and give you all the deets. We're gonna start off with the food there because I'm obsessed with food. I love food. What to know about SFSU's food is that we have meal plans. So when it comes to the meal plans, what you need to know is, do I need a meal plan, or do I just want to do groceries, live in an apartment, etc.? That's something that you need to think about because in the city it is very, very expensive. So that is something that you have to be aware of when we do go back to campus. And this is for people who are attending or plan on attending. It's actually really easy to get food. We have pantries, and we also have what's called City Eats. City Eats is basically the #1 place that all of us students tend to go to. There's always going to be different varieties of food. In my opinion, they could have done a lot better with the food, especially with the meal plan that you are paying for. Now, the meal plan that I had, it was on the weekends I didn't have it, and then the rest of the week I did. Now, if you plan on doing a meal plan like that, it's actually really easy. You don't really get hungry as much on the weekends, but if you do, there are places that you can go and buy food. If you had a tour, if you haven't, it's right near City Eats, and it's basically like a little store. It's called Village Market, and what that is it's basically, like I said, it's a store, and they sell pizzas, they sell chicken sandwiches, and they be bomb, and they're really low on their prices too. I know the slices of pizza are only $2, or was it 3? I think it's 3 or 2. Don't quote me on that, but either way it's pretty cheap. You can also buy boxes of them, but like I said, you don't really get hungry on campus because you're so busy hanging out with friends, having a social life, that you kind of forget. If you plan on living on dorms, which is the second thing, dorms are always a great experience. If you are a freshman or a sophomore or whatever the case may be, you may be entering in as a transfer student, dorms are always the best. I always try to tell people that are entering college that dorms are always the best because you're able to gain a social life. You're surrounded by people that are the same age as you, and you also are able to just have some fun. Depending on who your RA is. If you don't know what a RA is, it's basically like your mom or your dad. They live on the same floor as you, and depending on if they're there or not, if they have a social life or not, or if they're just basically just mean, that all depends on your RA that you get. But I know in my experience, my RAs were really chill. I had one on the other side of my floor, and then I had one that was right near my door, and she was really awesome. Miss Cass, girl, if you see this, I love you. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, my other RA was kind of booty face, but the majority of the time, me and my friends had a lot of fun, got away with a lot of stuff, but that also just depends on your RA. In terms of dorms, the dorms are kind of like room sized, and it's not as small as you would think it is. So it's half somebody else's and half yours, but you actually get a good amount of space. You have a cupboard on your side that's like really big, and then you also have a space like a closet type of thing, but I do suggest that you bring some sort of shower curtain or blanket or something to cover up your clothes and stuff, because in my opinion, I don't want nobody seeing my personal stuff, like clothes and everything all up in my closet, all my shoes. So I just got a bar and a shower curtain. Some people like to use blankets or tapestries, but to each his own, right? Other than that, you get a contract later, like in the months that you have a roommate, and it basically is where you, your roommate, and your RA you guys sign saying what you do allow, what you don't allow. So me and my roommate, we never had problems. My roommate was actually never there, so it was even better. But I know if your roommate is there, I've heard of a lot of experiences where your roommate actually ends up being your best friend. But it's okay if your roommate is not your best friend. Remember that. Because me and her were not best friends. I'm a Virgo and she was a Leo. So we were always cool. We never messed, like, we never, like, clashed. We maybe have had one slip up, but she apologized, so it was okay. But other than that, it was actually really, really nice, and I love the experience. You're able to bring foods, like all foods that you want. A lot of people use their cupboards that are by your bed, which is like the only big cupboard that you have, but at the bottom of your bed, you do have a desk. Now, that is what my dorm looked like. A lot of people are able to get additional like stuff and make theirs look different or whatever, but that's basically what's included. It's a desk and a chair right next to the bottom of your bed, and then you have your cupboard that's right next to your bed, and not cupboard, cabinet, and then your curtain with all your stuff and your clothes in it. And lastly, you do have storage under your bed too, so you have like drawers and stuff, so it's not like you're leaving home and you barely have any stuff. Now third, let's talk about the parties and if it's worth it. If you want to have a very like a real party lifestyle, it's there. It depends on who you're surrounding yourself with, and also if you are living in the dorms, because that is kind of the only way you're gonna have access to these parties. A lot of the parties though get shut down, unfortunately, because of the Park Merced area that we are near. There's a lot of apartments, and in SF there's not a lot of space, so a lot of people have their parties in garages. But I mean, if you're down for the garages, you know, it's your choice. I kind of like the garages. There's not really any parties on campus because they're very strict on that. When it comes to living in dorms, again, if it comes to living in dorms and you don't want to be in a double, you want to be with like other girls or other guys, like 4 or 5 other of them, there's things like towers and villages where you're able to have more people. Those places are more of like an apartment lifestyle, so they have like a kitchen and all that other type of stuff, a fridge, but you do share rooms with like 2 or 3 other girls, and that sometimes can get irritating. I didn't like that, so I didn't want to do that, but a lot of people like that because you don't have to pay for the meal plan. If you have guests, they have to leave at a certain time. You're not supposed to smoke, you're not supposed to drink, but you know, people get away with that stuff, so just make sure that you are very careful. Yeah. SF is a really nice area. We get buses for free. Well, free for your tuition. The dorms that I was in was Mary Ward, so it was right next to the gym. You could just walk your happy butt over there. And we have a nice swimming pool. It's heated. Well, we have 2 actually, and a hot tub. But the gym is really nice. I barely even used it. But it's okay. The pool was really nice. It's heated, and then there's a hot tub right in the same area. There's also a sauna that's in the same area, and then there's just a regular pool that's right next to the heated one. Back at what I was saying about the buses, we get it technically free, so it's part of your ID. So you just scan. You scan to go wherever you want to go on public buses, except the ones that are like going to San Mateo and stuff. Depends on what buses that you take. It's usually like the city ones, like, you know, like you could tell once you get there you understand, but majority of the time all the buses are free. Now, some things that you can do being an SF State student is we are literally right next to a mall. There's a path that takes you, so you're able to walk. It's right next to the science building, and kind of more like on the well, it's like a bike ride away, but you can walk and it's really fast. Honestly, it's right next to our old football field. And speaking of sports, we don't have a lot of school spirit, unfortunately. That's the downside of it. Only technically school spirit that we have is for our basketball team. We don't have a football team. Still don't know why. I think it was because they say it always rained out here and blah 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 blah, but I don't believe that. But Our football team must have been it must have been trash. Our track field is right around the used to be football team, and now it's full of grass, like all that stuff. But it's really nice to run on. I see a lot of people running. I don't run, but I see a lot of people running, and it looks really cool, you know. Let's see. Oh yeah, what to do in SF. So there are a lot of things to do in SF. You can literally do so much. I wish I was there right now. One of the things that I did was we went to the bridge. We used to just go thrifting a lot. Thrifting is really nice out here. You're able to just go on a bus ride and boom, you got a Goodwill or something. And there's so many delicious, yummy foods as well. If you don't know about Santung, you do now. That is like the best. It's like the bombest chicken place in the world, especially Keith's. Keith's chicken. This is not a promo, but it'd be so good. It's so good. Black business, black owned. Go support. I really enjoy those two places. Those are two probably like the farthest places that I've ever been. Overall, the ambiance is amazing. The people are great. If you need help, people help you. That's the difference. I feel like the area itself is so inviting, especially towards the LGBTQ community. They're very open. You know, at the end of the day, it's a city, so there's not always going to be inviting people. So just be aware that it is a city. But overall, the experience is really amazing. The teachers are nice, which goes for the education. The education is really nice. The professors there are really understanding. I don't think I've ever met one professor that hasn't tried to help me out if I've struggled. In terms of just being different, being a person of color, they totally understand. There's a lot of diversity on campus. There's a lot of clubs, and you can also create your own club. Okay. Other than that, there's something. The campus is not big. I wouldn't say it's like huge, but it is big, but it's not big. You know what I mean? Like, you're able to memorize all the buildings. The buildings aren't hard to really, you know, get a feel of. And overall, I feel like a lot of people would love it there, even though we're called the Gators, which brings me back to the funniest thing about this school. So it's called Gators because, you know, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Gators. At first, I was like, that's not funny. But then when you really think about it, you're like, that is so corny. Now we're going to do some downfalls of the school because I know you guys are waiting for that. So the downfall is the tuition is too damn high. It's just too high. But I feel like that's any university, honestly. But that would probably be the one downfall that I hate. Another one would have to be that just the fact that there wasn't as many parties as I thought there would be. The school spirit and the colors aren't my favorite. There's no school spirit, and our colors are yellow and purple. Not my favorite colors. I love the Lakers, but the Gators, not feeling it. The weather can be annoying sometimes, but if you are a person that loves the cold, then you're gonna love it there. I love to dress warm, so I was like, I'm down. I'm not driven. But if you are a person that loves heat, also, it's not always cold like people think it is, but it can be, and it can be foggy too. But that's the thing about it. A lot of people that go to parties, they're going to wear the same things that you would wear in somewhere in LA. It's not as bad as you think it is. And usually people don't even bring jackets because you know that a party is gonna get hot. It's usually very like hot days too, but it's not too hot. It's never gotten to the point where it was like 100 degrees, but it can be 70 to 80. I'm an afternoon person, so my afternoon classes were always the best. I love the fact that you were able to pick your schedule as you would with any school, but you just have more variety, more options, and physically it's really cool to be at. I'm currently an EOP, so there's people who are able to help me with my schedules or anything like that. If you are searching for a community, we do have sororities and fraternities. However, we don't have frat houses or sorority houses because of the city that we're in. So there's a law, I guess, that states that you can't have anything like that because of certain reasons that I cannot talk about, but that is the last downfall that I guess I would say. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you have any more questions down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.